Hey guys, what is going on at the solar party paradigm? It just keeps feeling like we're portal jumping from fire to water to water to fire. Stay tuned and find out. Welcome to Coma Pirate Radio, where we as esoteric pirates slide our boats together, throw the ropes, tie the knots, and talk about the maps. This is the solar party paradigm, where we are going to take a look at the astrological placements in a fun and unique way. There is a lot going on and a lot of different shifts, so make sure that you stay tuned and leave a comment below. Supporting Mystics for Mystics is part of Coma's passion. The Solar Party Paradigm cards are a unique way to look at astrology and a fun way to visualize what's going on at the solar party in a dramatic way. These guys, the heavenly bodies, we paint them as avatars and we play the game of life. All right, we always start at the front door. The North Node is in Pisces. It's been pretty stable, so we remember this water portal with flowing fins. Take a deep breath because it's very emotional. It's very sensitive. We always start at the front door because this is our destiny. This is the mouth of the dragon, what the dragon is chasing. What are we after? Where are we going? What does this front door look like? It looks like a waterfall, and we're going to take a deep breath and enter the portal. Now, if you have a good memory, it wasn't too long ago that this portal was on fire. And it moved into water. And we have seen these guys at the front door pretty consistently. We have the beauty queen, Venus, Mercury, the DJ, who have been shifting from fire to water and water back to fire. And now they're back to water. The party planner, who has been pretty consistent water alien, and the bartender, who was a water alien in Pisces and now is fire. So we're going to talk about these individually. All right, these guys, they have been holding hands for quite a while now. The beauty queen, she is the divine feminine, seducing everyone with her eyes. She is the #1 star to look at. She's been dancing with the DJ for quite a while now, but they've been on fire. They have been wearing red with red eyes, large horns, very devilish looking guys, and moving backwards. They are now back to being the aliens. Now, why is Pisces the aliens? For one, Pisces is the only astrological sign that the animal that represents it lives underwater, which makes it very, very sensitive, not only to temperature, but to sound. The echoes, you know, they tell you don't tap on the glass of an aquarium. It really messes up the fish. Now, if you're a follower of light language and listen to whales, you can also understand why on this card at the solar party, they are speaking in light language, in tongues. With these guys back as aliens, it could feel like you're being dunked and then burned, and then dunked and then burned over and over again. But now they are settling into their new fins and their new color of blue. Now, the bartender, who was the blue fish alien behind the bar serving us elixirs so that we could hold our breaths, has just turned into the fire demon. So it's like these guys are doing a switcheroo, right? These guys are going from fire to water, and this guy just went from water to fire. So what kind of elixir is the bartender gonna serve now? It's gonna be on fire, guaranteed. And here we have the party planner, still pretty steady in Pisces. She's still an alien, holding the iPad, planning out the party, making sure that all of the ducks are in a row, the chickens do, making sure the hors d'oeuvres are right. But in Pisces, we know that sometimes the party doesn't go exactly as planned, but the party planner in Pisces is a hypersensitive individual energy, could lose her shit. So, if things aren't perfect at the party right now, we can use this energy and just let Saturn know that it's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. There is so much water and fire going on at this party, and they're doing this. They're snaking. Now, what does that feel like? Up your spine, fire, water. Tell me how that feels in the comments below. You can order these cards on the website, centerofmysticarts.com. Now, the birthday kid just did a beautiful number coming into Aries with an eclipse, coming in on fire, in fire, with horns. Now, the birthday kid is also a devilish looking character that wants to push into life, shaking off all of that water, and in sextile with Jupiter. Now, we have 2 Jupiters at the moment in Gemini. If you remember, if you follow the solar party paradigm, Jupiter's been pretty focused in sextile with Venus for quite a while. Now, the birthday kid is being able to enjoy the 2 bosses. Now, the bosses own the venue. Jupiter is the abundance. Now, the birthday kid is the one that receives all the gifts at the birthday. So this relationship is gonna feel pretty good, pretty intense. What is a sextile? These guys need to get a room. You can feel the attraction between them. They're looking at each other with sensual, longing eyes. Together they practice Tantra. And with the energy of the orgasm, they get closer to God, the divine. This energy is very electrical. It's an electric shock. If you followed the solar party paradigm, you know that we've been talking about how this sextile can feel disturbing to a few. If you haven't healed the root chakra, this energy can feel uncomfortable. If you're not into PDA and you're at a party and you see these guys over there like doing this number and you're just like, oh my God, that's so annoying. It's so aggravating. There's some people like that. Or if you're okay with that kind of energy and you're like, yo, you guys look like you're having a good time, then this energy is going to feel comfortable, good to you. You can utilize this energy. And the birthday kid, for sure, wants all of those gifts. Now the moon is moving pretty fast and has moved from being fire to being earth, is now in Taurus, very grounded. When you go to the bathroom and check yourself out, it doesn't feel so hot and fiery and in your face. Now it feels a little bit cooler. I can deal with that. It's a beautiful mirror. We can deal. The tech guy, the social media marketer, will have time to look at himself in the mirror as they go through it in Taurus. Because soon, the boss, who's in sextile with the sun, is going to be able to look at himself and figure out, who is this abundance going to go to? Now, the boss is also the one that writes the paychecks. There's 2 bosses in Gemini. So which boss do you go to? Right on cue. There's the cows. Now, these 2 bosses in Gemini pay very differently. One pays in beautiful things happening on this planet. Miracles, fruit falling out of trees, cows showing up right on time for your video. And the other one writes a paycheck, but is pretty cold in that way. You know, just here's your paycheck, get on, go. Do what you want to with it, right? Well, we all obviously want to be paid with both. What is going on at the bar? We have the jug sitting there in trine. Now, the trine is the energy of being best friends. If one has a problem, the other one will come to their aid, no matter what. Besties for life. Now, the jock is a good best friend to have. This guy will win the game for you. Practices every day for you to win the game. Has the drive, the fire, the pushing energy to be able to win. But he's in Cancer right now. Water. You feel that fire and the water being dunked underwater and then set on fire, and then being dunked again and then being set on fire. If you're not used to roller coaster rides, this could make you puke. But if you have fun on the roller coaster and you know and you trust that everything's going to be fine, it's all going to be okay, and you've already taken the elixir from Neptune, who is now on fire, you'll be able to feel this a lot easier. Now, Mars in Cancer is sensitive in that when the tide comes rolling in, this crab has a tendency to disappear. But don't think that Mars is completely gone, right? That drive, whether it's sex drive or the drive and the will to win a game, this masculine energy of force, when it disappears in Cancer, it doesn't just stop working. Mars still works undercover, behind the scenes, cleaning everyone's karma with this Cancer energy. So this is a good energy to use with all of these guys at the front door. Now, this bad girl did a really sneaky move when the sun was going through its eclipse. She changed forms. During the solar eclipse, she moved from being metallic to being maroon. She shifted into Scorpio when everybody was looking at the sun. She is now a triumphant warrior ruled by two older brothers, Mars and Pluto. And guess what? She's in square with them right now. So this energy is gonna feel extremely intense. And she wants to crash the party with the transformation of the shadow. Everybody can go through the shadow and come out brighter and lighter. But it doesn't feel like that. When you're stung by a scorpion, you feel like you're gonna die. Everybody has been feeling like she might be something to be worried about, to be scared of. This uncomfortable feeling with looking at your shadow. And sacred sexuality. Now there's a lot of sextiles going on at this party that might feel kind of uncomfortable if you haven't taken the elixir from Neptune the bartender. What does this square feel like? At the solar party paradigm, this square is a very difficult relationship. One that is very old, but that they always get each other in trouble. Therapy is needed to get them to harmonize. It's a very slow-moving relationship. If you want to go fast, you use a wheel. If you want to build a strong foundation, if you want something to stay put, you use the square. In Scorpio, ruled by Mars and Pluto, what is this relationship with her two brothers feel like? Of course it's going to be difficult. Of course it's going to feel like you want to kill them. Especially when what they're doing is trying to, transform you through the shadow being rebellious and intense, the outsider, the god of the underworld. And this guy, that is the jock, the sex drive, the in your face, I'm going to show it to you. Not so much in Cancer right now, but still. The avatar still feels very masculine, even though it's in a feminine sign. At the solar party paradigm, this is how we paint the picture. We can look at these cards. They're sold on my website, centerofmysticarts.com. When you look at them and use them daily, you start to really remember all of these characters. You start to be able to visualize them. Even if you're not a very visual person, when you follow these cards, when you use them as flashcards, you start to remember characters as if you had met them before. Now we come to Chiron, the shaman at the solar party paradigm. Stationed between the two ringed planets, that's Saturn and Uranus. There specifically to heal the root chakra. This wounded healer turns the party into a magical ceremony. They're not the most popular guy at the party because it has to hurt to heal. Now, sometimes you don't want to hurt when you're at a party. You're on the dance floor and you don't want the shaman to come in and trying to sew up your wounds. You don't want to be bleeding all over the dance floor either. But if you make the party into a ceremony and really dive into the ceremony, which many of us are, you can understand why Chiron is here to heal our root chakra. He's been pretty stationary in the masculine ram, fiery energy, in your face, very headstrong, fearless, competent, adventurous, pioneering, outgoing, and charismatic. Beautiful Chiron hanging out, but has also, for quite a while now, been in square with the jock. All right, the jock at the party also doesn't really have a very good reputation because sometimes the jock shows up at the party drunk and, kind of shows off. There's a lot of ego with this energy, right? This is a self-confident, aggressive, protective, stern, courageous, passionate, animalistic, sacred masculine, which all of these things are beautiful, and androgynous at the moment in Cancer. So when we bring these cards together with the planet and the sign that they're in, it creates this whole picture. So we have the jock who has feminine energy, right? Blue skin of tattoos and water and waves, and cleaning everybody's karma with nurturing love. This jock is really wanting to win the game for us, but he's very sensitive. And he's also prone to work behind the scenes. You might not see him. Don't underestimate the light workers and the shamans that work behind the scenes. A lot of us do. A lot of us prefer to work under the water, behind the scenes, not in the spotlight. And the shaman, who is very much wanting to be in the spotlight, I want to heal you with the Great Awakening at the moment going on, could feel a little bit frustrating because things are moving a little bit slower than you might want them to. We're not using a wheel, we're using a square, but we're building. We're building. And it's hard to build a foundation. Okay, this is where the solar party paradigm is very useful when you study them daily or weekly, often. You start getting to know these characters in their signs and be able to work with them throughout your life, throughout the day. Now this square, what we can do is put these words together to feel them together. So we have the headstrong but benevolent, fearless, romantic, competent, emotional, adventurous but nurturing, forceful and healing. The shaman being forceful and healing. Forceful, healing. That's when the nurse comes up and just sticks the needle in without even telling you anything. And you're just like, on The Never-Ending Story. That's where I got this quote from. The Never-Ending Story. It has to hurt to heal. When Atreyu is with the little, I can't remember what they're called. They're little gnome-like creatures, and he's with Falkor, and they just woke up. And they're wounded, both of them. And what was her name? Ingiwook, I think her name was. She says, "It has to hurt to heal." That's where that comes from. So these guys, remember that the square, let's really get to know the square and the sextile. This is one of the things that's so great about these cards, is they have all of the aspects. And when I personally started memorizing what the aspects meant through these cards, yes, I created the cards, but I didn't have all this information. This information was downloaded in a meditation, in Gnosis, and through creating the cards, which was very slow, and I still, Jupiter, hadn't gotten paid for it. One of the bosses has paid me tremendously, and the other boss, not so much. Let's look back at these guys. That's exactly what I'm talking about. The two bosses. That one boss will shower you with so much love and so much beauty and so many miracles, but maybe not the paycheck, you know? And we've got to be thankful for all of the abundance that comes in with both of the bosses. But it can get really frustrating when you're trying so hard and you're working so hard with two bosses that are arguing with each other about what to give you, for instance. That's what this energy feels like. So good luck with that one. If you want to check out the extended on Patreon, where I dive into the cosmic dialogue and I pull cards to figure out what these heavenly bodies want to say to each other. And I definitely want to talk to this Lilith, who snuck into Scorpio behind the scenes and is now in square with her two older brothers. And we leave out the back door in Virgo. This is the crossroads in the southern hemisphere. This crossroad creates a back porch where our ancestors are, where your friends come in, right? But it's also where you take out the trash and where there's a lot of parties happening on the back porch, and sometimes it doesn't get cleaned up after. Past karma can build up at the back door on the south node. In Virgo, it could be extremely messy, or it could be very, very clean and meticulous. But it can also swing very dramatically one way or the other. But it does have everything you need, right? Virgo is carrying a backpack full of everything she needs, the basket of harvest. She's wild and street smart, even though she got into the party with a fake ID. Even though she's so young and pure, she doesn't yet know the dangers and the pain of life. But that is what makes her beautiful. So she doesn't know it yet. She hasn't been tainted. She hasn't been hurt with this energy here, right? And on the back porch, you can sit down, you can relax, you can put your feet up, you can look around you, and you can see that the ancestors have left us all the answers. They're just there. And if you can't find the tools through the trash, you won't be able to use them. So make sure the back door is clean. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, you can check out the Patreon, the extended, where I talk to these guys with cards, with divination, using numerology, and with the suits being the different elements. I really appreciate your support. Please like and subscribe, thumbs up. As you can see, this is a small channel. We're growing. We are here at Center of Mystic Arts supporting mystics. It's all here. I've got the website, centerofmysticarts.com, where you can purchase these cards, centerofmysticarts.com. So whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love and light and shadow. And there comes the shadow. And don't forget your magic bag full of everything you need, because you're gonna need it. There is Ojas lube to get you through the tight spots. It's all energetic. We have wax when you really need to hold on to something. You need something sticky when you want to hold on to the ropes. You need ropes when you want to tie yourself to something. And you also need a knife to cut the ropes, to cut the karma, and to cut it when you've tied yourself too tight, possibly. You also need a compass to know where you're going, and a map to know and a map to be able to navigate the territory. So you guys, hold on tight. It's going to be a wild ride. Stay tuned to Coleman Pirate Radio.